think.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you, and you as always. See you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight in 7 News, the southeast COVID emergency queues for testing as 3 cases are confirmed in the Logan area. A school and restaurants shut down. It started with 2 infected women who lied at the border, then spent 8 days visiting places in Logan, Springfield and Southbank. All of Greater Sydney now a hotspot, the residents banned from coming to Queensland. A dramatic end to a 17-year-old's robbery rampage at Beenleigh. Power bill protection for struggling families extended for 2 months as the battlefield business heats up. And millions up for grabs in what's being hailed Queensland's biggest supermarket giveaway.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Sharyn Ghidella and Max Futcher.
Good evening. Queensland is tonight facing a COVID crisis with 3 new cases, 2 of them teenage women who lied on their border declaration, bringing coronavirus into the southeast. Max Futcher, one of them was a school cleaner at Park Ridge.
Sharyn, a cleaner who knowingly went to work here at Parklands Christian College while sick, potentially exposing around 800 students and staff. Their actions have been labelled as reckless, and tonight a major testing and tracing operation is underway to try and stop the spread.
In front of anxious students, staff and parents, the school gates open and the testing begins, not for grades but COVID-19.
It's just disappointing, because you try to do your best. Even myself, my kids, I don't go out, I try to keep myself at home.
It's just pathetic. Obviously, they just got no blatant regard for anyone else.
Hundreds of members of the Parklands Christian College community arrive and line up, all angry at being potentially exposed.
Well, I think it's disgraceful. How did they get up from Victoria?
The culprit, a school cleaner, a 19-year-old woman who, along with a 19-year-old friend, travelled to COVID-riddled Melbourne.
I'm very, very disappointed. I think it was reckless.
7 News understands the pair went there intending to commit thefts on high-end fashion stores. They also attended an illegal party on July 19, handed $1,600 fines for blatantly ignoring restrictions.
There is an investigation that is going on into the circumstances of these 2 young women. This is a criminal investigation that we're conducting.
On July 21, they flew on VA 863 from Melbourne to Sydney, and by not leaving the terminal, avoided border checks. They arrived in Brisbane on VA 977, provided fake names and false border declarations. For the next 8 days, they visited restaurants, shopping centres and a church in the Springfield and Logan areas, exposing a huge number of people.
If they did it intentionally, then justice has its own way of finding itself.
On Monday, tests were done. Positive results came back last night. The school was the first to be contacted.
You never want this to happen to your school, and you read about Victorian schools and you go, oh my goodness, I so feel for you.
Now, multiple locations south of Brisbane are under a COVID cloud.
If we act really fast now, we can stop this spreading further.
These long lines are a clear representation of how the actions of a few impact many. Because of the decisions of these 2 women that have brought the virus back into Queensland, thousands more people will now likely have to be tested and self-isolate. But the fallout is bigger still. The risk of false declarations and another 19 new cases in New South Wales, prompting drastic action from our Premier.
Queensland will now be declaring Greater Sydney a COVID-19 hotspot.
From 1 a.m. Saturday, all of Greater Sydney joins the hotspot list. 900 suburbs stretching from the Central Coast, the Blue Mountains down to Picton. Residents will be banned from entering the Sunshine State, returning Queenslanders forced into hotel quarantine.
It is going to cause an inconvenience to families, and I know there may be a lot of events that are planned over the next few days, few weeks, but it is too important. We must protect Queenslanders.
A fight that just got tougher. Joel Dry, 7 News.
Let's go to Isabel Mullen now. Izzy, you have details of a 3rd new case confirmed late today.
Good evening, Max. We know she's a 22-year-old woman and she worked here at Chatswood Hills at the YMCA in the after-hours school care. She was a close friend of the two 19-year-old women who also tested positive. Now, 7 News understands she's currently in the PA hospital and will later be transferred into hotel quarantine. A major police investigation is now underway and authorities are imploring the families of these three coronavirus positive cases to come forward and be truthful as to what they've been doing over the last 8 days. We'll likely see a number of pop-up clinics across Brisbane's south side tomorrow and perhaps a repeat of those chaotic scenes at COVID testing clinics in Park Ridge today.
Isabel Mullen reporting now to Elliot Chipper. Elliot, we're learning more about where the pair has travelled in the southeast.
That's correct. Queensland health officials this afternoon released the highly anticipated list of all the locations these two women have been in the past 8 days. One of those places was a Thai restaurant here at Springfield Central's Orion shopping centre. Locals now concerned about potential lockdowns as contact tracing gets underway. You can do a lot in 8 days. The two women who sparked Queensland's new COVID crisis, covering plenty of ground.
I've got the two young children, so we're trying to stay safe. So absolutely, it's something that worries us.
The pair visiting restaurants, shops and even a church. The list is extensive. In addition to Parkland's Christian College, Mad Tongson 4 restaurant and Hira Tea bubble tea shop in Sunnybank. Primary medical and dental practice in Browns Plains, Thai Peak restaurant at Springfield, Couch Dessert Cocktail Bar and Peanut Street Noodles in Southbank, an African grocery shop on Station Road in Woodridge and Cha Time at Grand Plaza. Some of those locations were closed today for cleaning.
If there's confirmed cases, it needs to be locked down to protect the rest of Brisbane.
It's not only a concern, I'm actually scared, if it outbreaks here.
The Chief Health Officer has also taken extra steps to protect the elderly. All aged care facilities in the Metro South area will now be closed to visitors and staff will undergo extra screenings.
The most important thing in the period while we see if there is any other community transmission is making sure that nobody in an aged care facility is exposed.
Anyone with symptoms, even if mild, must get tested. Fever clinics are open at Orion's Springfield Central Shopping Centre, Parkland's Christian College, the QE2 and Logan hospitals. Until then, if you feel unwell, health officials say you need to self-isolate. Elliot Chipper, 7 News.
There's fresh debate tonight about whether our borders should fully shut down again, given the Sydney scourge and the risk of travellers lying and getting away with it. Authorities say New South Wales will remain under close watch.
The border hardening, but does it go far enough?
We should close them.
We've had our chance, to be honest, and people have blown that.
Honesty, so crucial to the defence line as police check border passes and question interstate passengers. These Sydney-siders were happy to beat Saturday's deadline after arriving at Brisbane Airport today.
Personally, I know I'm coming from Sydney. I think borders should close. The cases are just rising in New South Wales at the moment.
A blanket ban on New South Wales could be imminent if community transmission gets out of control.
If the Premier, based on medical advice, wants to close the border, well, OK.
Tourism bosses say it's a setback, 19 days since they rolled out the welcome mat.
Sydney is a big market for us, as would Victoria be. We have to do without them.
An independent poll by global data company Dynata, conducted exclusively for 7 News, found 79% of Queenslanders believed the borders should close to all interstate visitors. 8% were undecided. That's before today's events.
When the Chief Health Officer advises the Queensland Government, advises myself to close the border, we will close the border.
While interstate flights continue, police are now looking at the whole system in place at border checkpoints to look at ways security measures can be bolstered.
You need to think about those around you rather than just yourself.
The price of getting to Queensland is already soaring, with some one-way Qantas tickets from Sydney to Brisbane costing more than $1,000 on Friday. National sporting teams have fast-tracked their move north. AFL's GWS and Swans will evacuate tomorrow, while Sydney's netball teams, the Giants and Swifts, have had their game relocated to the State Netball Centre Sunday as the latest lockdown looms. Marlena Wapp, 7 News.
The Prime Minister says the country isn't in a second wave, but a Victorian wave, as that state's aged care catastrophe spirals out of control. There are 295 new cases and 9 more people have died, bringing the death toll there to 92.
At one of Melbourne's most troubled aged care homes, a devastating reality, and hundreds of families now fearing the same fate.
We got the news that Mum tested positive. I'd like to get Mum to a hospital as soon as possible. I think this is a place for her.
804 active cases are linked to nursing home clusters. There are outbreaks in 87 facilities. 7 of today's 9 deaths were aged care residents, bringing the total to 49.
There will be more. There will be more deaths. We know that. It is a certainty. We will see deaths every day.
Both the Prime Minister and Victorian Premier say that is their focus, shrugging off claims of friction. But the message from Scott Morrison is clear.
There is not a second wave that is going across the rest of the country. There is a significant Victorian wave, and that's how I have to honestly describe it.
What it's called is not a concern to me. The only thing I'm focused on is defeating this virus.
As more residents are moved out, more help is arriving from around the country. From tomorrow, the first of the medical specialist AUSMAT teams will arrive from Darwin, and on Friday, the first of 50 nurses from South Australia. Despite today's devastation, the case numbers are encouraging. 295 new cases, the lowest tally for 9 days. It follows a record high of 532 on Monday and 384 on Tuesday.
I will not make a declaration that we've passed the peak. You cannot make assumptions on modelling. It doesn't predict the future.
A future that's far from certain in a fight that's far from over. Laurel Irving, 7 News.
Well, consumers might not be feeling it, but the official figures say prices in Australia have fallen for the first time since the Great Depression. It's the economic impact of the coronavirus pandemic, the first official quarter of deflation in almost a century.
Deflation. It sounds like the air coming out of a balloon. And it is, if the balloon is the economy.
It was an extraordinary figure, that is, outright falls in prices.
The Consumer Price Index recording inflation of negative 1.9% for the June quarter, deflation last seen in 1931, driven mostly by 3 months of free childcare, down 95%, petrol falling 19.3%, school fees 16.2%, and at home, rents, electricity and gas all falling. But there were rises too at the supermarket. Soft drink prices up 6.1%, seafood 3.8%, women's clothing 2.9%, and cigarettes, TVs and fast food all up. The impact on shoppers also deflating.
Groceries are more expensive.
I've noticed some things have gone up.
Free childcare had a big impact on these figures, but deflation is still a telltale sign of an economy in real trouble, pulverised by the pandemic, going backwards.
What that should do is give the government pause for thought on their reductions that they're taking place in support.
Scott Morrison says he's increasing support, including considering pandemic leave for those who wouldn't be paid by the employer if they needed to self-isolate.
It's a matter I have discussed with the Minister for Industrial Relations.
Mark Riley, 7 News.
And Sharyn, I'll be back with live updates on this unfolding COVID emergency throughout the bulletin.
All right, thank you, Max. We'll see you then. In other news, Dreamwell's owner has pleaded guilty to breaching safety regulations over the river ride tragedy that claimed 4 lives. Amanda Abate, it was the first time the case has been in court.
That's right, Sharyn. It was a very brief appearance, only about 5 minutes or so, and only Ardent Leisure's lawyers were in court as the company pleaded guilty to 3 counts of failing to comply with its health and safety duties, each charge carrying a maximum penalty of $1.5 million.
The guilty pleas have been entered on behalf of Ardent to all 3 charges.
Do you have anything to say to the families?
The next hearing is set down for September, just weeks out from the 4th anniversary of the tragedy.
Thank you, Amanda. A Beenleigh man is lucky to be alive after his neck was sliced open during a brazen home invasion. Police alleging it was part of a teenager's overnight crime spree.
Officers pursuing on foot before pinning and handcuffing a 17-year-old boy at Logan Central, charging him with attempted murder.
5 days till his 18th birthday. You gobsmacked over something like that.
Police say an hour earlier in Beenleigh, he confronted a 51-year-old man and demanded car keys, forcing his way inside the house when he refused.
Walked into Pete's kitchen and grabbed a knife and sliced him across the neck.
He took the car and fled, but was tracked by Polair to Logan. Tyre spikes slowed him down. Eventually, he got out of the car and ran.
Apparently, he'd gone round the back and crossed over the fence. By the time my son had got downstairs to tell the police, they said, "We've got him."
Police allege the boy robbed another 17-year-old and tried to take car keys from a 23-year-old man before the stabbing.
A horror movie is all I can describe it as.
Nadine says her neighbour is now recovering after surgery.
He was cut on the left-hand side of the neck and it was 100 mil off the main artery that runs through your neck, so he's very, very lucky to be alive.
The teenager will appear in Beenleigh Children's Court this month. Rosanna Kingson, 7 News.
A judge in London is tonight deciding whether Johnny Depp was defamed when a newspaper called him a wife-beater. Legal experts believe both he and ex-wife Amber Heard will suffer from the case that's been dubbed England's most sensational defamation trial this century.
After more than 3 weeks in court, Amber Heard attempted to get the final word in, saying it had all been incredibly painful.
To have my motives, my truth questioned, and the most traumatic and intimate details of my life with Johnny shared in court and broadcast to the entire world.
A behind-the-scenes look at celebrity life and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's volatile relationship.
Got this going.
In his closing statement, Depp's barrister saying Johnny Depp kitchen cupboard beater he can live with, but Johnny Depp wife beater he cannot. His case against the Sun newspaper has become a piece of welcome theatre in COVID-hit London. Fans today rewarded with thank you notes and bandanas as his lawyer called Amber Heard a compulsive liar who faked injuries using her makeup skills.
I stand by my testimony, and I now place my faith in British justice.
A case that has attracted so much global attention will be decided by one judge. A decision isn't due until at least September. She was booed. His fans passionate. Experts predict few winners.
In the court of public opinion, Depp and Heard are both losers in this case.
With both their movie careers on the line. In London, Hugh Whitfield, 7 News.
Now to the weather, and Tony, it was a cold morning across much of the state.
Yes, it was, Sharyn. A chilly start for the south. That's pretty normal, but we've even had reports of frost as far north as the Atherton Tablelands. That's well up into the tropics. Checking our temperatures under sunny skies, it warmed up after that brisk start to the day. Ipswich dropped to just 1 degree overnight, then to top of 24. Our cooler change is due late tomorrow. Sharyn, I'll be back soon with the forecast.
See you then. Thanks, Tony. It's the plane that will take passengers out of this world. After the break, a look inside Virgin Galactic's tourist spaceship. Plus, a man on the run after firing shots at a pub north of Brisbane. Also, as power prices fall, how to ensure you're getting the best deal. And after sport, a major supermarket's new plan to lure shoppers. The Ekka may be online this year, but you can still win the ultimate experience.
Only 7 News will give you the chance to win.
Our exclusive prize packs include Ekka Sundays, Dagwood Dogs and a family pass to Ekka 2021.
Watch 7 News from Saturday and all next week for your chance to win.
We have the spark, and I really want to make that a flame.
I might have kissed someone.
What?
Can I just have a minute, please?
You're scaring me. I don't know how to fix this. Beg you, don't run away from me.
A farmer will make one of the most important decisions of his life.
New farmer wants a wife. Sunday on 7.
Sunboost is continuing to support Australian households with affordable solar by extending the end of financial year discount.
Install a 6.6 kilowatt system, just $35.91. Extended to Friday, July 31 only. Call 1300 Sunboost.
Venue mode has officially landed, which means exclusive promotions and markets at your local every time the green light is on. Download your new Tab app and get the homegrown advantage here on Earth. Tab, long may we play.
You'll fall in love with YouFood's ever-changing menu of chef-inspired meals, snacks and drinks, packed full of locally sourced Aussie farm fresh ingredients, delivered safely to your door 7 days a week. It's healthy eating made easy.
1, 2, 3, 4. So clap it back. Hey, clap, clap. So clap it back.
Centrum provides multiple health benefits in just one tablet. Centrum, complete from A to Zinc.
So do I pay tax on JobKeeper?
I'm working from home. What can I claim?
We've all got tax questions this year. Thankfully, at H&R Block, we have the answers.
Let's get you started.
Maximise your tax refund. Book an appointment today.
Household bills keep going up. You could save money by living in the dark, wearing 7 layers and surviving on a diet of canned tuna. Or you could just compare, select and save on heaps of stuff with iSelect.
Creating something that feels just right. That's an art. Precisely crafted and beautifully finished. All new Mazda CX-30. Everything just right.
Alan has seen the whole world. Time to discover what's nearby. Trivago compares hotel deals from major booking sites, making it easy to find your ideal offer nearby. Time to explore Australia. Hotel Trivago.
I take thee to be my lawful wedded husband.
Stan's lavish brand new series, Little Birds.
I got married today. Congratulations.
From the director of Billions and The Affair.
Cameron makes love to you. Somebody needs to.
Marriage is an institution that must be upheld. And for love, Hugo. People do it for love.
Well, which girl do you want to be, Lucy?
The brand new series, Little Birds, premieres August 5, only on Stan.
Tasty, affordable and delicious. What's for dinner in the next break with Coles?
Police are hunting a would-be thief who fired shots at a pub north of Brisbane overnight. The man caused extensive damage to the front doors of the Marumba Downs Tavern. He's described as Caucasian and was last seen running through the rear car park of the business. Virgin Galactic marked a giant leap forward today, unveiling the cabin of its tourist spaceplane. Future passengers and 7 News were invited for the world's first look.
It's sleek, sophisticated and spacious, a 6-seater that's designed to go where no tourist vehicle has gone before, the edge of space.
Feathers halfway up.
This is a first look at the interior design of Virgin Galactic's Spaceship 2, the vehicle designed to fly supersonic speeds and pierce the boundary of space 100 kilometres above Earth. Unable to show the world's media in person, we were invited to tour it virtually, on the ground.
Pretty impressive even in virtual reality.
And offered.
Take a look outside at the view. It's just amazing.
With 12 windows in total, every seat is a window seat. In the 16-year process, Virgin Galactic has faced a number of setbacks, and now it's enduring another. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't just change the way we toured the spaceship, it changed the way it was built.
We were encouraged that we've been able to carry out a couple of test flights of the vehicle during COVID.
Just a few more test flights are needed before the company can seek approval from America's Aviation Authority. 600 people are already in line to board. Front of the queue, Richard Branson, who'll take part in the inaugural flight. A front row seat as his space dream becomes a reality. In the United States, Amelia Brace, 7 News.
In a grim new twist to the Madeleine McCann case, police have spent the day digging up a garden plot in Germany, near where the prime suspect in her disappearance once lived. Christian Bruckner is currently in jail for unrelated crimes, but moved from Portugal, where Madeleine disappeared in 2007, to Germany that same year. Police won't give details on what they're looking for. And some big Australian names are in the running for an Emmy this September in a year dominated by Netflix shows. Cate Blanchett is up for her role in Mrs. America. Toni Collette is on the list for Best Supporting Actress in the series Unbelievable. Hugh Jackman is nominated too for his performance in Bad Education. The former Emmys host sympathetic of Jimmy Kimmel.
And then gradually people get thirsty, hungry, but it may be slightly different at home. I don't envy hosting virtually without an audience. I think that must be very, very difficult.
Streaming service Netflix broke an industry record with 160 nominations. Scientists celebrate a major Alzheimer's breakthrough. Up next, the simple test that could detect the disease 20 years before symptoms start. Plus, another bizarre twist as former reality TV star Susie Taylor is committed to stand trial. Also, why our Foreign Minister says Australia doesn't always agree with the US. And before weather, hear from the good Karens fighting to reclaim their name.
Queensland's biggest supermarket giveaway. Millions of instant prizes, luxury holidays, gift vouchers, entertainment. How to take part and why they say you're guaranteed to win. Plus, the bill-busting deals on your power being offered right now before the July 31 cut-off. Exclusive consumer reports on 7 News coming up.
A good curry will transport you to the streets of India.
The perfect pasta can take you to Italy.
You may not be able to travel the world right now, but these flavours are about to take you there.
This dish is Vietnam.
This is taking me back to my little corner of France when I was 8 years old.
Wow, that is the very best. Simple perfection.
It's being able to travel the world without moving from my city.
This is the World Cup of cooking.
Welcome to Plate of Origin.
Hey everyone, Courtney Ralston here. Now that age-old question just keeps coming up in our house every day, and that's what's for dinner? If you're after quick, easy and delicious recipes, then you'll love the Coles What's for Dinner range. There's over 80 recipes to choose from, all are ready in under 30 minutes and only require 5 ingredients or less. On tonight's menu, we're cooking the easy leek and bacon frittata. So let's get on with the cooking. Okay, the 5 ingredients you'll need is some rineless bacon. I've got a beautiful fresh leek. We need about 3/4 cup of cream. We've got some beautiful cherry tomatoes still on the vine, nice and sweet. And you'll need 10 eggs. All right, first job, just heat up some extra virgin olive oil in a non-stick frying pan. Now with our leek, we just need to slice this. All right, just pop that leek into a pan that's on a nice medium heat. Add in a touch of sea salt and a bit of black pepper. All right, the next job is just to slice up our bacon. So I'll just slice this into battens. All right, that bacon can go in with the leeks and we just need to cook this for a couple of minutes. So I've got 10 Coles free-range eggs here. I'm just gonna crack them into a bowl. We're going in with about 3/4 cup of cream. Eggs love a bit of salt, so season them with some sea salt and a little bit more cracked pepper. Give them a whisk up with a fork. Now, all we need to do is to pour our eggs over the leek and the bacon mixture. All right, we can give that a little mix. Just cover that with a lid or a tray. Give that about 8 to 10 minutes. Keep it cooking and then we'll come back and check on it. All right, let's have a look under our little lid here. You can see our frittata, it's still got a little bit of a wobble in it. So I'm gonna finish this in under the grill in the oven. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna pop these sweet, bursty tomatoes on a tray. And these can go under the grill with the frittata. All right, dinner in an absolute flash. There we have it. Our frittata has set to become beautiful and golden. Check that out. I'm gonna pop this onto a serving plate. Cut ourselves a nice, generous piece of frittata. All right, our blistered tomatoes, they just go on top. If you like the look of this recipe, you can find this plus many more Coles What's for Dinner recipes over at coles.com.au. Or why not sign up to the Coles digital catalogue with new recipes every week? Dinner does not need to be stressful, but it certainly can be delicious. See you next Wednesday.
Remain alert but not alarmed. That's the message to Southside residents tonight after 3 new cases of COVID. Fever clinics have been set up across the region, like this one at Parkland's Christian College, which will remain open until 7 p.m. It comes after a school cleaner and her friend lied on their border declarations after travelling from Melbourne. A third woman who was a close contact has also tested positive. Queensland Health says she's an employee at the YMCA Chatswood Hills outside school hours care. Anyone in Logan, South Brisbane or Springfield should get tested if they feel unwell. And as more people come forward, the testing queues are expected to grow tomorrow. Protection for those struggling to pay their energy bills during this pandemic has just been extended until October. Power prices are also at record lows, meaning now is the time to shop around and make sure you're getting the best deal.
Coorparoo mother Karen Harrison is smart with her money.
We are with AGL and we chose them a number of years ago when I went through a market comparison online.
But now it could be time to compare again.
Wholesale prices are now at their lowest level that they've been since 2014-2015.
We're actually seeing unprecedented price competition in Queensland.
Mostly driven by smaller providers undercutting each other and bigger brands. The estimated bill for Glowbird Energy, Mojo Power, Reamped Energy, Kogan Energy and Nectar is just over $1,100 annually. That's compared with around $1,300 for Origin, Alinta and AGL. CanStar says bigger providers often bank on the fact you'll stay with them because of their brand name and to avoid the hassle of changing. But that mentality could cost you.
There are few risks associated with switching to a smaller retailer, and the benefits could be really great.
If you are struggling to pay your bill, the Australian Energy Regulator has extended its protection for COVID-hit customers until October.
What we expect retailers to do is to stay in contact with their customers, to offer them a payment plan if they might be in financial difficulty, to not disconnect them if they're in contact with them.
Keeping power providers and their bills in check. Tristan Voyes, 7 News.
Westpac has announced it will bring 1,000 jobs back to Australia from overseas. The bank's call centres have experienced a surge in demand due to the financial strain of the pandemic.
The reason for that is the resilience of our business and wanting to provide a better customer service.
The new Australian jobs will be filled over the next 12 months.
Former reality TV star and Penthouse pet Susie Taylor has been committed to stand trial for extortion. A court hearing evidence the victim knew she was a prostitute and may have agreed to pay her for sex.
She's the reality TV star accused of assaulting, tying up and stealing money from David John Butler.
She gives a very different version to that of the complainant.
A court hearing today, they spoke online before meeting at a new farm unit last year. Butler admitting he knew she was a prostitute but denied looking up how much she charged or recognising her from TV. Her name was Katie. I didn't put two and two together. He conceded he may have agreed to pay her for sex but couldn't remember because he was intoxicated. After kissing and cuddling, he says she demanded money. He refused and wanted to leave and told the court someone screamed he's got no money. This other guy came and hit me a number of times, dragged me to the kitchen and tied me up. The magistrate committed Taylor and co-accused Ali Ebrahimi to stand trial in the district court. When asked if she wanted to say anything in response, Taylor simply replied no.
We were pleased with the way the cross-examination went and we'll be sending a submission to the director asking him to discontinue the charges against our client.
Taylor has asked her lawyers to apply for Supreme Court bail. Rosanna Kingson, 7 News.
Australia's Foreign Minister has made it clear we don't always agree with America. In Washington to announce closer military cooperation, Marise Payne is resisting pressure to join more aggressive patrols in the South China Sea.
Travelling halfway around the world to a virus epicentre to meet face-to-face.
Not many partners would do that for us.
A sign of the stakes as the two allies talked China. Australia praised for standing up to Beijing.
It is unacceptable for Beijing to use exports or student fees as a cudgel against Australia. We stand with our Australian friends.
From Foreign Minister Marise Payne, a more careful line.
The relationship that we have with China is important and we have no intention of injuring it.
But our government has agreed to a US-funded military fuel reserve in Darwin and closer cooperation on new technology.
This includes hypersonics, electronic warfare and space-based capabilities.
China's response accusing the US of ratcheting up tensions. These high-level talks were held in a high-risk setting, both nations battling the coronavirus and the politics of the pandemic.
Some countries are using the pandemic to undermine liberal democracy.
Australia's delegation now headed back, the ministers exempt from hotel rules, set to quarantine for 14 days at home. In Washington, D.C., Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
Researchers have revealed a simple blood test could hold the key to diagnosing Alzheimer's disease. The test works by measuring the build-up of a specific protein, which damages and kills brain cells, leading to memory loss and personality changes.
These tests are simpler to do, cost less, and are less scary to people, so individuals might be more likely to be tested.
It's expected to be around 2 years before the test is available, but it would replace the need for a brain scan or spinal tap. They were born 10 weeks early while their father was locked out of the state because of COVID. Up next, meet the twin boys, finally able to head home from the martyr mothers. Plus, which Brisbane bottleneck has the opposition pledged to fix? Also, Coles' latest move in the supermarket wars, its biggest giveaway of all time. And would you try this, the new brew inspired by the Eckers' famous Strawberry Sundae?
When murders need to be solved at Oxford... Who were you working with?
What have you done?
One detective is going to teach them all.
D.I. Lewis. That stupid something. If the killer made a mistake, it's there.
Learn the truth with Lewis tonight on 7/2.
We're so lucky in Australia because we've got so many fantastic food choices and it's fresh and it's delicious. Yeah, we try and recreate that in the store every day. The producers come to us because they've heard our reputation is one that supports quality, independent products. Grace is the quintessential diminutive Italian woman who lives in the Perth Hills, and it took 4 attempts to let us sell her pasta sauce in the store because it's such a great sauce, and there are customers who just are completely in love with it.
And people want truth with their food. They want truth and they want the story behind it. We can do that. But we want to see everyone flourish. You know, if everyone flourishes, we're all doing well.
Venue mode has officially landed, which means exclusive promotions and markets at your local every time the green light is on. Download your new Tab app and get the homegrown advantage here on Earth. Tab, long may we play.
Getting back on the road is something we're all looking forward to, and Toyota is here to help you do just that. With a range of finance options like offering a $1,500 finance deposit bonus across selected models.
Get Kluger GX Auto from $41,990, drive away and receive your $1,500 finance deposit bonus with Toyota Finance.
Like to know more? Go to toyota.com.au.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
I've been thinking, change it up. No, stay the course. It's all about managing cash flow. Or is it investing, diversified? Wait, why did I even get into this?
Andy? Let's work through this one step at a time.
If you need help working out your next step, search ANZ Business Planner.
A lot of people have sensitive teeth, but gum health is really important as well. If you've got sensitive teeth, you should be looking for something to help with the sensitivity, but you should also be thinking about, do I need to look after my gums? Using the new Sensodyne Sensitivity and Gum toothpaste not only deals with sensitivity, it also maintains gum health when used twice a day, every day. I think it's fantastic to have a dual action toothpaste. 2 benefits with the one toothpaste. What a great idea.
Sam is fearless at studying tiger sharks. Just don't ask him to fix a leaking tap. It's amazing what you can't do. Task smarter.
Airtasker.
To finance, and the share market gave up its strong start, diving following news of Queensland's border ban to Sydney-siders. The ASX 200 fell 14 points. Mining companies weighed the market down. BHP fell almost 2%, losing 75 cents, while the big 4 banks performed well, helping soften the blow. The Australian dollar is strong against the greenback, buying 71 US cents and $1.07 New Zealand. And drivers should fill their petrol tank now before prices go up. The average cost of unleaded is $1.19 in Brisbane. A notorious Brisbane traffic bottleneck would be fixed with an LNP promise targeting a key marginal seat. A $90 million overpass would be built over Gympie Road at Beams Road, Castledine, in Labor-held Aspley. Deb Frecklington says the project would start by 2024. Some resumptions may occur.
When the RACQ says it is the worst bottleneck on the north side, it needs to happen.
Labor has promised $128 million for a level crossing overpass at nearby Castledine train station in the Sandgate electorate. Having twins can be a daunting prospect. Try at the height of COVID during lockdown when your partner is in another state and suddenly your babies are coming prematurely.
Sam and Tim Haken are nearly always together. But when their baby boys came 10 weeks early in April, border lockdowns weren't part of the birth plan.
The plan was that Tim had come over at about 33 weeks for a 35-week delivery. This is 30 weeks, just over 30 weeks we're now at, so Tim's not here yet.
Due to health complications, Sam had come to Queensland from Alice Springs for the birth. Tim was still in the Northern Territory as Mum went into theatre.
I'm pacing around the kitchen 3,000 kilometres away.
Watching via FaceTime as their twins were delivered on a plane the next day with a border exemption on compassionate grounds.
The first day I got here, Jill, the receptionist, saw me with a bag and said, "You're the dad from Alice Springs."
Matthew and Richard spent 84 days in the neonatal critical care unit at Martyr Mothers.
You'll get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger.
Today, leaving hospital for the first time.
They're going home strong and healthy and they'll do just fine when they grow up.
Sam's official due date was 4 weeks ago. After a bonus 10 weeks with the boys, they're now ready to head home to Alice Springs with a detour.
Because we now have 4 kids, we had to buy a new car. So we bought that car in February. It's been sitting on the showroom in Mount Isa.
Their first new family adventure. Georgie Chumley, 7 News.
If you like beer and Ecker's famous strawberry sundae, you're in luck. Stone & Wood has recrafted the Ecker icon into a beer brewed from strawberry puree. All profits from sales of the beer will support research at the Prince Charles Hospital. And you'd think if it's based on the sundae, it should have an ice creamy head. Coming up, a major move to lure customers. What's up for grabs in Queensland's biggest shopping giveaway? And meet the nice Karens determined to restore faith in their name. And now here's a very nice Shane Webke.
I'm going to consider that a compliment, Sharyn. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Ahead, AFL's Festival of Footy. Anthony Seibold's take on the Fafita defection. Sonny Bill Williams headed down under for an unlikely NRL comeback. And the Global Award no one wants to claim.
Her son's death is his second chance.
We have to protect them from the truth.
But the secret her son was hiding...
I will never forgive you if you lie to me.
...will start an unstoppable chain of events between two worlds. Sunday, 8:30 on 7.
Big Jack, now at Hungry Jack's. Bigger, better, flamier. Special sauce and flame-grilled Aussie beef. Think you can handle it? Meet the Mega Jack. For a limited time at Hungry Jack's, the burgers are better.
Thanks for calling ING. This is Adam speaking. How can I help you? No, I'm currently working from home.
Oh, you can call anytime, so...
Sorry. And she's currently nibbling at my toe right now.
Yeah, working from home was a bit tricky at first, but...
There's definitely been some stray farts, hasn't there, mate?
And now your loan's on a fixed rate. Can I help you with anything else?
No, you made my day.
Well, whatever 2020 throws at you, we're here for a chat anytime.
Too easy.
Why join Bupa? Because you'll get 6 weeks free on eligible products. That's 6 weeks free, because right now every saving counts. Bupa, because life happens. T's and C's apply. Call now to find out more.
You'll fall in love with YouFood's ever-changing menu of chef-inspired meals, snacks and drinks, packed full of locally sourced Aussie farm fresh ingredients, delivered safely to your door 7 days a week. It's healthy eating made easy.
With Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance, we guarantee all the repairs we authorise.
Hey, good to go.
Looks great.
Thanks.
Get that Allianz feeling. Call or search for a quote today.
The 100% Aussie beef in Macca's Burgers comes from farms like David's in Queensland.
My family supplies 100% Aussie beef to McDonald's.
Thanks, David. Get into Macca's for hot, juicy, tasty burgers today.
7th season of magic.
I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the First Deathly Hallows. Tonight on 7.
The Broncos have already started searching for a Fafita replacement as the club maintains it did everything possible to keep the rampaging back rower. And Brisbane don't want a second row replacement. Their main concern is signing a leader.
There is a silver lining in the shock loss of David Fafita. He's left a $2.4 million blank cheque at Red Hill. Now comes the hard part, how to spend it responsibly.
We've already had some discussions and we'll have further discussions on what we need. Do we need another back rower? We need to probably have a think about that.
What they really need is a senior star player in the 25 to 30 age range.
Do we need to add some experience to our group? We'll have a think about that. So we'll just look at what we think we need, and probably a little bit of experience would be, it would be good to add to the group at some stage going forward.
Cameron Smith rumoured as a target, but he's expected to play one more year in Melbourne or retire. Still, Brisbane can only dream.
I would assume that Cameron will finish his career at the Melbourne Storm.
Seabold standing firm, adamant there's no regrets over a Fafita offer $800,000 short of Gold Coast's.
We know that the amount of money he was offered was significant. I think he's the highest paid forward in the game now going forward. There's an opportunity for himself to set himself up financially.
We can't rely on recruitments next year to try and get us through the season because they're obviously not here to help us.
We gave our best offer to David.
How they would love a Sonny Bill cameo. 7 News there as the dual international left Manchester Airport bound for Sydney. He's applied for an isolation exemption so he doesn't have to stay in a COVID quarantine hotel.
Are you looking forward to going back, Sonny?
And a blow for the Cowboys, Josh Maguire failing to have a dangerous contact charge thrown out of the judiciary. He will be suspended for a week.
We knew what we were signing. We knew Josh brings that sort of aggression to us, and we were all happy to have him on board, and we still are happy to have him on board.
Now here's the round 12 tips with Gilly and Webby.
Righto, Gilly. Time to get serious.
Oh, that's your excuse for averaging 3 per round. At least you're consistent.
Something the Bunnies and Dragons haven't been this year, but South's class will get them over the line.
Dragons, for me, they were ripped off last week by the bunker. And how much grit are the Tigers playing with?
Not enough to beat the Warriors. New faces will freshen them up, and the Bronx will take down the Sharks. Too many injuries.
So you're going with your head for once, OK? I'm with you in Brisbane, and the Roosters will be sharper for last week's close shave.
Hart says back the Queenslanders, but the Titans will struggle, and so will the Cowboys against Canberra.
With Josh Papali leading the Green Machine, they're looking unstoppable on Saturday night. The Panthers in the game of the round.
Here I am backing the Queenslander. The skipper, DCE, will get over the top of Cleary, and Sunday Parra should muzzle the Dogs.
Yep, the Eels too slippery, and to cap off the perfect round, Melbourne. Agree?
Agree.
See, wasn't that hard, was it? Good luck with your tipping.
The AFL's Festival of Football is about to launch on the Gold Coast as the code desperately tries to take a chunk out of the matches they need to play before finals. Here's Tom Brown at Metricon.
Shane, this Queensland Festival of AFL's really started, but it steps up tonight. 33 games in 20 consecutive days across the country. Starting tonight here at Metricon, the Bulldogs and Richmond. Now, the Bulldogs have swung a late change. Trengove in for young star Waitman. In terms of the latest news, well, there'll be a lot of emphasis on the Tigers' forward line tonight, in particular Lynch and Rewell, the couple of stars. There's 400, a travelling party of 400 AFL families due to arrive on the Gold Coast tomorrow for isolation from Victoria. The AFL tonight, I've revealed, investigating up to 4 Victorian clubs, hub clubs, for potential hub breaches. They could announce that outcome in the next 48 hours. But first things first, an exciting game tonight. Brisbane in action on Friday, the Sun Sunday. It's terribly exciting. All the action on 7 Mate. Shane.
Thank you, Tom. And confirmation of footy's feel-good story of the year. 706 days after falling from Melbourne's Bolte Bridge, Magic Door is back.
It's going to be one of the great stories in AFL footy, so join with me, congratulating the big fella.
He's beaten serious injuries and will play for the Kangaroos at Metricon Saturday. Surfers normally compete for sport's coolest world title. Then there's this, the uncool wipeout of the year. Honolulu's Keela Kennelly's commitment and bravery was unquestioned at Jaws in February.
When you're about to throw yourself over the ledge and you get a huge gust of wind that comes up the face, it just gets under your board and there's really not much you can do at that point. Flipped up, hit me in the shin, and then flipped again, hit me in the ribs, and then flipped again and hit me in the face. And then I just freaking cartwheeled like 3 times.
A $5,000 cheque should help ease the pain. I don't know about you, Sharyn, but $5,000 is not nearly enough.
It's nowhere near enough. You could quadruple it and it wouldn't be enough. All right, thank you, Webby. In the biggest shopping giveaway in Australia's history, retail giant Coles is giving away tens of thousands of vouchers. Big prizes are up for grabs when spending $30 on everyday items.
It's big. It's not about prices are down. It's giving Aussies new experiences.
Drawing attention to some of the places and experiences that Australians haven't got to see for a while, and now we're really drawing people into these places.
From today, customers will instantly win one of millions of prizes, including a $4,000 holiday, by checking the code on their docket after purchasing 3 participating products in one transaction at Coles supermarkets and online, 2 at Coles Express.
These vouchers will be on offer for 18 months, so there's plenty of time to be able to redeem.
The giveaway is the biggest in Coles history and comes at a time when competition between the major supermarkets has never been greater than during this pandemic. For the kids, 24 little Treehouse collection books. Somewhere out there, there is an ultra-rare gold book to be found.
The Little Treehouse books are really going to encourage kids across Australia to read.
Woolworths is supporting the feed appeal. There's been a 50% increase in the number of Australians seeking food relief since COVID-19 began.
It goes to support all local charities. And a $2 donation can feed up to 4 people.
Giving back when it's needed the most. Steve Titmus, 7 News.
Their name has caused division across the country this week. After the break, how good Karens are striking back against the stereotype.
And whatever your name, these warm winter days will keep most people happy. I'll have the forecast coming up next.
Brisbane's best team. 7 News can exclusively reveal our job is to report to you.
For you, every night.
Nobody knows news like 7.
Tired of cleansers that leave skin dull? The power of micellar with the glow of rosewater. New Garnier Micellar Rosewater Cleanser. Micelles lift dirt like a magnet. In one swipe removes makeup and reveals the glow. New Micellar Rosewater by Garnier. Naturally.
Value tastes better when it's freshly made. Subway 6-inch subs. All this for only $5 with the Everyday Value range. All day, every day at Subway.
We can see you, Darren.
Ready to break free?
Darren.
Say good day to freedom with Top Parks, where you can roam free with plenty of your own space. There's a great choice of parks and deals to suit you. Book now at topparks.com.au.
Stay true to yourself. Follow your dreams. Just make sure you have the suspension to keep up.
With Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance, we guarantee all the repairs we authorise.
Hey, good to go.
Looks great. Thanks.
Get that Allianz feeling. Call or search for a quote today.
Since being with My Budget, we have set up a fantastic family life.
We've got way more now than what we've ever had, but we're still earning the same money.
Call My Budget today to book your free consultation.
Want to sell something for instant cash? Looking to buy from a huge range of quality second-hand goods for less? Cash Converters. Find us online or visit us in store.
I'd like to taste a real Italian coffee, please.
What is the real Italian coffee?
L'espresso.
You mean barista?
Yes, new Lavazza Espresso Barista. Specially selected and gently drum roasted. From the masters of espresso to you.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of dinner with Coles brand Aussie Fresh RSPCA approved chicken portions with a delicious herb sprinkle. Down to just $6.50 a kilo. Coles, good things, great value.
Value tastes better when it's freshly made. Subway 6-inch subs. All this for only $5 with the everyday value range. All day, every day at Subway.
Whatever happens, I want to be with you.
She's gone out with one guy while she's into his brother.
Is there something going on between you two?
A body is about to surface. Home and Away, weeknights on 7.
The Bulldogs versus the Tigers in a Premiership Contender Showdown. Wednesday night footy on 7, mate.
Tonight's top story, there are fears thousands of southeast Queenslanders have potentially been exposed to COVID-19 after 3 new cases. Fever clinics have been inundated with people lining up to get tested after a cleaner here at Parklands Christian College tested positive. The 19-year-old woman and her friend lied on their border declarations, bringing in the virus from Melbourne. A third woman, who's been identified as a close contact, has also tested positive. Queensland Health says the 22-year-old is an employee at the YMCA Chatswood Hills outside school hours care. Extensive contact tracing is underway. Well, there are 5 letters and 1 name responsible for so much disdain, but the public's crucifixion of Karen from Bunnings has prompted high-ranking namesakes from across the country to stand up for those doing the right thing.
Everyone wants to get on the Karen bandwagon now.
And the federal member for McPherson is taking the wheel.
Let's distinguish between the real Karen and the fake Karen, but there's a lot of great people called Karen.
Unlike Bunnings Karen, who refused to wear a face mask in Melbourne.
It is my right as a living woman to do whatever I want.
That woman is actually Kerry Nash, and this is Lizzie Rose.
We the people do not consent to these draconian laws.
Yet it's the people who've dubbed them both Karens.
Follow all the rules. That's what Karens do. Karens follow the rules.
Urban Dictionary defines Karen as the stereotypical name associated with rude, obnoxious and insufferable middle-aged white women. Its origins aren't so clear. Was it this line from Mean Girls in 2004?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Or this comedy sketch a year later?
Every group has a Karen, and she's always a bag of
Now finally Karens are fighting back.
But I'm one of the good Karens.
The Guide Dog CEO unleashing on Sunrise.
Draw a line in the sand and take a stand.
If this has taught the public anything, it's that Karens are real people too. But while those 5 letters continue to be vilified, there have even been suggestions that the good Karens among us should go by Kazza until it all blows over.
Look, I'm happy to stay with Karen.
Mac Lyon, 7 News.
And Sharyn, worrying times for lots of Queenslanders right now. We'll of course continue to bring you comprehensive coverage as our new COVID crisis unfolds.
Yes, let's hope it can be contained. All right, thank you, Max. Weather now, and Tony, how much longer will these warmer days last?
Well, Sharyn, tomorrow we'll see daytime temperatures staying above average before a weak cooler change moves in late. Today, a cold start, then warm and sunny day. A beautiful sunset here from Mount Gravatt. Tops up to 3 degrees above the July average. 8 overnight in Logan, a top of 24 degrees there. We are seeing a few more non-weather related radar signals across the region today. Onto the satellite, sunny skies, a dry air mass over us. That's thanks to southwesterly winds pushing in off the continent. This cloud band and trough off the coast here is the remnants of the east coast low that battered the New South Wales coast. And tomorrow, not too much change. The high centre will move down towards Adelaide. We'll see a burst of southerly winds developing late in the day. That'll bring a bit more humidity. Some patchy cloud mostly later this week with plenty of sunshine remaining tomorrow. Around the ground, some early fog in Adelaide, a top of 16 degrees there, and some patchy cloud and 18 in Sydney. Back to northern Queensland. Still a cool morning, but frost is less likely than today. Blue skies during the course of the day. 8 overnight, a top of 23 in Mackay. Make that 26 for Townsville and Cairns. Heading south, there will be some inland frost earlier, then clear skies, apart from a little bit of cloud around Gympie, Maryborough and Hervey Bay, 9 to 23 degrees. Across the southeast, some patchy cloud through the middle of the day, but plenty of sunny breaks too. A touch warmer tonight and staying just above average tomorrow, 10 up to 23 degrees in Caboolture. And across the suburbs, well, we've just seen the view from Mount Gravatt, a forecast top of 23 degrees there tomorrow. On the water, winds picking up again. Light southwesterlies early. They'll turn south-southeast in the afternoon and reaching 25 knots late. So in Brisbane, 12 tonight, then a mostly sunny top of 24 degrees. That's a couple above average. Then looking further ahead, a touch cooler and a bit more cloud into Friday, 11 up to a top of 22 degrees. In Ipswich, sunny tops of 23 and 24 degrees over the weekend. Saturday, the first day of August and the start of the last month of winter, and average temperatures actually start going up again. On the Gold Coast, dry through much of the next week, just a possible shower eventually by about next Wednesday. And Sunshine Coasters, you also have a slim chance of a shower into the middle parts of next week, but before then, dry tops around 21 degrees most days with a little bit of patchy cloud. Sharyn, not too bad for the depths of winter.
No complaints here. All right, thank you, Tony. And that is all from us this Wednesday. Thanks for your company. Join Melissa Doyle for the latest from 7 News at 10:15 tonight. Sunrise is back in the morning from 5:30. From all the team, have a great night.